It's been a full year since the first Fantic 125 was smuggled into the USA. Now that same Italian 125 has been turned into a factory edition. Fantic is an Italian motorcycle manufacturer with a special partnership with Yamaha. Anybody who knows anything about motorcycles knows that this looks a lot like a Yamaha YZ125, but it's not. It's a Fantic XX125 two-stroke, and now we have a factory edition version of it. Yes, our friend smuggled this bike into the USA last year, and since then, Fantic has made some big moves to now start importing bikes into the USA starting this year in 2025. More on that in a little bit, but let's go have some fun on this two-stroke. So what makes this bike different than the Fantic we tested last year? Well, starting from the outside looking in, it's got the black and yellow, neon yellow plastics on here. It makes it look like a two-stroke Triumph. We have our Triumph 450 today. This thing looks pretty similar, but really the factory edition aspects of it come in the engine. Nick Mairose and Pasha Afshar brought this bike over to the USA last year, and now they've modded it for 2025, and they've come up with their own factory edition with parts they ordered from Europe specific for the Fantic platform. On the outside, you got a HGS Silencer with a DPR Cone Pipe on here. This thing looks beautiful. It's got a VHM head, it's got a special Fantic cylinder, and it's also got a different Fantic piston inside as well. Otherwise, it's basically a stock Fantic and very similar to a Yamaha. For those who aren't caught up in the history of this bike in particular or in Fantic in general, this bike was a mission to get over to the US. Fantic is an Italian manufacturer, but they have a unique partnership with Yamaha where they platform share. They buy Yamaha platforms, they got the same engine, frame, swing arm, wheels, suspension as a Yamaha, but then they throw their own parts on it and call it a Fantic. However, with that partnership, they're only allowed to sell it in Europe. So the Italian manufacturer goes racing in the EMX 125 classes over there, and they're very competitive over in Europe, but not allowed to be sold in the US. Now, for 2025, there's a new importer for the US, CPD in Texas, and he's bringing in two Fantics to the USA. However, they are not fully Yamaha. They are more Fantic than they are Yamaha, and because of that, they're able to bypass that partnership that they have with Yamaha. So the new Fantics that are coming to the USA, it's an XE300 two-stroke. It's got a Yamaha chassis with a Motori Minarelli engine. Motori Minarelli is an Italian engine manufacturer, been around for over 50 years. Yamaha actually bought into Motori Minarelli in the 90s, so Yamaha's tied in with the Italian brand. Now Fantic is tied in with the Italian brand, and they've been working together since 2020. And the XE300 two-stroke has a Motori Minarelli engine inside of a Yamaha YZ250 chassis. So electric starting, fuel injected, hydraulic clutch, electronic power valve. It's very modern, but it's not a Yamaha engine, it's a Fantic engine. So that's the first bike that they're bringing here to the US. That's gonna be really exciting for the enduro market. They're also bringing in a trail bike. That's an XEF 250 TL. It's basically just a trail bike. Motocross action viewers probably aren't too interested in it. Totally different frame, totally different 4-stroke engine, and like I said, trail bike. But that 2-stroke 300, pretty excited about that one. But how did this bike run on the track for us here today? Well, you guys might remember from last year's video when we tested the stock Fantic versus the stock YZ125 that we actually thought the YZ was faster, which was kind of surprising because Fantic takes the Yamaha and then adds modifications to it to try to make it better. It's got a reworked cylinder, different connecting rod, different piston, a couple different changes that Fantic takes the Yamaha engine and makes to that bike to make it a little bit better. Last year, it was actually a little bit slower than the stock Yamaha. So then for 2025, Nick Mairose, he upgraded this bike with the exotic plastic kit, and he also made his own style factory edition upgrade kit. Now you can actually buy that from Fantic in Europe, but he made his own with the VHM head, the different cylinder on here, the Fantic Team Cylinder, the cone pipe, the HGS Silencer, and the different 12-degree piston inside this engine as well. Unfortunately, it was still slower than the Yamaha. We had a ton of fun on this bike, but once I rode the Yamaha, we also had Sean Bushnell, Justin Lee, and myself, so 3 of us going back to back with the stock Yamaha versus the Fantic, and unfortunately the Yamaha still edged it out just a little bit. It's hard to believe that when you spend almost $2,000 to modify your bike that it would actually be a little bit slower than a stock Yamaha, but it just goes to show how good the Yamaha YZ platform is in its stock form, and it also goes to show how finicky small bore 2-strokes are. I think with other brands or maybe other bigger bikes like a YZ 250 2-stroke or any 4-stroke, you throw a pipe on there, you throw a couple parts on there, it's gonna get faster no matter what. With the 125 platform, it is a little bit finicky, and I think it's gonna take some time maybe with Nick working with Pasha and some of the other guys to get into the engine and rework it to make this thing come to life. So we had a ton of fun on it. There was no complaints until we rode the Yamaha, and the Yamaha wasn't night and day better. It was actually a hair better, a little bit easier to carry gears around the track, a little bit easier to stay out of the mud and stay out of the soft stuff on the Yamaha. Or with the Fantic, it screamed, it rode great, and it was a ton of fun for all of us to ride, but when you compare it to the bike sitting right next to it, just a hair slower. One of the differences between Fantic and Yamaha that which we think might be the culprit is the airbox, and it's a little bit different airbox than what you get with the Yamaha. Yamaha, you still have to take the seat off, reach your hand in there. Fantic made it a lot easier with this KTM style air filter. It's a basically copy of the old 2022, 2023 KTM filter. Super easy to take in and out of the airbox. Because of that, we think it actually does limit some of the airflow and maybe takes away a bit of that bottom end snap that we feel on the Yamaha that made that bike a little bit easier to ride today. So I appreciate the twin air filter that comes stock on Fantic. I appreciate how easy it is to get the air filter in and out of here, but we think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe the Yamaha platform might be a little bit better. And I do have to say, we raced the Wiseco World 2-Stroke Championships out here at Glen Helen 2 weeks ago. We were all on KTM 150s in the 125 open class, Pasha 150 open class, and Steven Tokarski on a Yamaha YZ 125, not a 150, a 125 built by Pro Circuit, was running up front both motos and doing extremely well on a 125. So the Yamaha platform is extremely fast, extremely capable, and in the hands of the right tuner, it can do great things. Other cool things about the Fantic, we do like the bodywork on here. So the stock one we rode last year was white and red. This one, black, yellow, matches my O'Neill gear perfectly, and it actually is a little bit smoother and more comfortable for us to sit on today, especially the seat. More comfortable than the Yamaha. The Yamaha's got more of a flat seat, which we do appreciate, but it's pretty round and a little bit unfriendly to ride on for a long time. So this Fantic seat on here was super nice. It's got some domino grips, it's got a wild looking, pretty stiff bar pad up here, but overall, fun times on the Fantic, but we did the hard work for you. Motocross Action, we tested the Fantic stock bike last year. We tested our own version of a factory edition this year, and still, Yamaha YZ 125 is a better bike. So we appreciate Yamaha still sticking around and producing awesome bikes. We appreciate Fantic for now making an entrance into the US with 2 cool bikes, especially the one 300 2-stroke. We're excited about that one, and we're excited to see more Fantic here in the US. So if you haven't seen our video from last year, testing the stock bike, be sure to check that out on our YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching this video. More 2-strokes, more racing, motocrossactionmag.com.